Hey guys, welcome to All Time Gaming. I'm Chris.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Alex. And it's nearly Christmas. Time to buy that big blockbuster game for your friends and family, or fuck them and just get it for yourself.
I could, but some of the best games out there didn't have the pots of money EA have. Some games started as small mods made by dedicated fans. Fans like you and I.
Sometimes these mods die in obscurity, but sometimes, just sometimes, they're so good they're turned into fully fledged games. So here are 6 of them.
Like them or loathe them, Epic Games have been instrumental in the video games industry. Unreal Engine has been used in everything from Mass Effect to Life is Strange, and Unreal Tournament was one of the best multiplayer shooter experiences in the late 90s and early 2000s. Unreal Tournament also had a large modding toolkit with it, which enabled a whole host of budding designers to create their own games. Of these, Killing Floor is perhaps one of their biggest success stories. Killing Floor started as a total conversion mod for Unreal Tournament 2004, developed by Alex Quick.
They got Alex!
It was wildly popular and was played avidly from 2005 onwards. Quick was approached by Tripwire Interactive, themselves having worked on Unreal modding success story Red Orchestra, with the idea to port the mod to a retail version. Released in 2009, the game took off, scoring decently with the reviewers and selling over 3 million copies on PC.
That's a lot of nuts!
The game itself takes place in London because that's the closest to hell on earth you can get without having to go to Alabama, and concerns efforts to contain a breach of horrendous genetic abominations before they can destroy the country, causing millions of pounds of improvement.
It's a David Brent joke.
Funny.
It's a quick, cheap and dirty game that you can plunge into and enjoy for a few hours to, chill out.
Maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of the school.
If Epic are responsible for one half of gaming mods, id Software are probably responsible for the other half. For evidence, look no further than seminal classic Quake and all the games that have been inspired, modeled on, or downright stolen from. For some, such as Team Fortress, they invented their own little game. What's that? You thought Team Fortress was a Valve thing? No. What's this about Quake? Well, sit down, young grasshopper, and let me educate you. What we know as Team Fortress was originally a 1996 Quake mod with the now familiar pattern of 9 distinct classes formed into 2 teams playing attack, defend, and capture the flag. It was only later, in 1998, that Valve expressed an interest in the popular mod and ported it to their engine to promote the modding capabilities of Half-Life. Valve released Team Fortress Classic, which went down in history as being one of the defining games of a generation. Valve hired the guys that designed the mod and began working with the source engine on one of the best arena shooters of all time, Team Fortress 2. Now, 10 years after that release, we're still talking about it and playing the game, with 46,300 gamers playing it any one time.
Even now?
Even now, Jamie. But going back, it all started as a small mod for Quake developed by friends in the mid-90s.
Okay, so if Team Fortress 2 isn't a Valve original, what is? Well, let's look at Gary's mod, one of the most popular mods ever produced.
Ever.
The word mod's in the title. Unlike the previous two on the list, which had a particular effect on gameplay or even created entirely new games themselves, Gmod takes the assets of an existing game and lets you, well, pretty much just stick around with them. Based on the extremely popular and groundbreaking Half-Life 2, Gmod is a sandbox game in a very practical sense of the word. You're given the tools to have fun, so go and have fun. Pose popular characters such as Alex into suggestive positions. Blow up G-Man over and over and over again, create your own deathmatch arenas. The world is your oyster with the Gmod, and it fostered a period of unprecedented creativity not just for gaming, but also for machinima. The rise of Gmod in 2005 coincided with the rise of YouTube, and so spawned thousands, if not by this point millions, of funny, stupid little videos people have created using the mod. While being free for about 2 years, the mod's creator Gary Newman realized the popular potential of the tool and created a standalone release to be released by Valve. By January 2016, that potential had translated to 10 million copies sold and another modding success story for Valve. What do you think though? Is Gary's mod all it's cracked up to be, or is it not worth the money? Let us know in the comments below, or if you're feeling fancy, you can vote up here.
Yeah, ooh. Yes, okay, Gary's mod is popular, I get it, fine. But if you want something truly earth-shattering, you have to look, as always, to Blizzard.
Overwatch.
Yeah, but this is a video about mods, so no. Looking at the esports leagues and the 7-digit prize money available in some tournaments, it's hard to believe that Dota, or Defense of the Ancients, started off as a mod. Way back in '95, Blizzard released Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness, which included the new feature of a free open map editor, allowing players to design their very own levels. These maps could then be played with others across the Battle.net system. These features then returned with Warcraft 3, where, in 2003, a map maker by the alias of Yule released what is regarded as the first map called Defense of the Ancients. It was a complete overhaul of the traditional style of Warcraft 3, basing the scenario on a StarCraft mod called Aeon of Strife. Over the next 3 years, more and more modders began making additions to the game, with extra heroes, items, you know what I'm talking about. The popularity of this mod cannot be understated. Featured as a competitive tournament for the very first time at BlizzCon in 2005, the rights to the game became very hot property. And if we've learned anything, it's that if there's a profitable mod anywhere, Valve will step forward and snap it up, which is exactly what they did in 2009. When Dota 2 was released in 2013, it was kind of like the original mod, just highly polished, a few extra features such as Steam support. It has since become a worldwide juggernaut, influencing the likes of League of Legends and yes, even Overwatch. And it all began with Yule.
Spoilers, Chris. I am Yule.
I'm Ice Frog.
Shit!
Let's move away from Valve, if we can, to an independent success story. In 2009, the tactical shooter Arma 2 was released and gained perhaps the most aggressively loyal fanbase this side of Dark Souls. However, one fan, Dean Hall, had genuinely gone through military training and wanted to implement his experience as a new kind of game. And that game was DayZ. Hall had served in the New Zealand military and was seriously injured during survival training with the Singapore forces in Brunei. He has stated that the tension and emotion felt was to be an integral part of the mod he wanted to develop. Players are dropped into the fictional state of Chernarus with little more than their wits and are asked to survive a zombie infestation. Unfortunately, you are not alone, and more often than not, you are more at risk of being sniped by some arsehole on a hill miles away than falling victim to the undead. However, this new layer of challenge and the survival mechanics were enormously popular, and when the mod dropped in 2013, it won awards, was downloaded multiple times, and became YouTube fodder for gamers everywhere. After this, even Bohemia Interactive, the developers of Arma 2, took notice and remarked on how the mod was behind increased sales. Apparently, they were so grateful for this boost in sales that they decided to hire Hall to work on a full-length standalone version of his game. The game would keep many of the same mechanics and features of the mod and has to date sold over 3 million copies, and Valve is nowhere to be seen.
Well, don't dismiss Valve too soon because we're finishing with another one of their groundbreakers. Counter-Strike is a global phenomenon today, spawning an entire gambling industry seemingly single-handedly. However, life began back with the original Half-Life. It was initially started by Min Lei and Jess Cliff in 1998, but the core gameplay of terrorists versus counter-terrorists quickly gained attention and attracted a community of budding modders around it who added to the experience. Some of the first mods added features such as bots and zombies, whereas others were simple death matches that gave you a knife and a gun and asked you to rank up. Not until the creativity of Dota did a community have such input in a single mod. However, it was to be the two leads, Lei and Cliff, who caught the eye of the Goliath Valve. In 1999, both were hired by Valve to work on a standalone project following the same basic gameplay, which was released in 2000. Familiar mode favourites such as bomb defusal and hostage rescue featured, while maps such as the now legendary Dust made their debuts. On release, the game was a smash hit, scoring highly in magazines and being the first professional esports game to be used by many organisations around the world. Over time, the game has been polished and refined, with the latest edition, Global Offensive, being the second most played game on Steam behind Dota 2. Still can't top the champ.
Well guys, that was our list of the 6 full games that started out as mods. We have definitely missed some off of this list, but were any your favorites? Let us know in the comments down below.
And while you're there, why not click the like button and the subscribe button and the notification bell? You know what? Just click all.
Just click them all. Give us them likes, baby.
And if you like this video on Origins, check out our list of 6 mainstream games with weird origins, and we'll see you next time.
See ya!
Come on, Barbie, let's go party.